Hello everyone and welcome to Global Outlook. I'm Mary Sitt. Today we'll meet someone whose vision is to give international students a fun, full college experience, and we'll meet one of Kenya's bright young students. Plus we'll learn the latest from Okumu, a nonprofit that is making a difference in ovarian cancer. Our first guest is Nelson May, who does student engagement and recruiting in the International Services and Programs Office. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So that sounds like a fun job, student engagement.
Yes, I'm all for student engagement. I'm all for bringing the students together.
How do you promote student engagement among such a diverse population of students here?
Well, the idea is to first establish a social media page for us.
Okay.
And then since everything is in the social media era, it's like getting the information out to the students, letting them know this is what we have going on, this is the information that we can provide, and this is how we're going to bring everyone together.
So you're doing Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
Yes, I'm working on getting that in the works. That's in the works.
You're doing all these little things. That's not really a selfie. You're really trying to just Instagram the moment, right?
I'm trying to get the students to feel like, hey, I can have fun here as well as I can study. It's a fun / serious environment. So I'm just trying to implement both parts.
So Nelson, how do you create that fun, college experience that you want to create here when there's so many campuses all over the city, and most students, in fact, all students are commuter students. They come to class, they go away, and they don't live on campus.
Yes.
So how do you create that community feeling?
Well, the idea is to kind of deter away from the idea that, oh, I am on a campus over here, so I can't attend that event. Well, if I can bring the international students together to feel like, hey, I have a friend, an international student who's trying to get to this event, we can carpool or establish a way to where all the students can make a way to travel for certain things like the international campus karaoke night. Or
that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
In different languages?
Singing in different languages, some American, some international. So it's kind of trying to erase the idea that, oh, we're so spread apart. I can't come. Oh, I don't have transportation. If I can figure out how to get that out of everyone's head, then it would be a little easier. It'd definitely be a little easier.
So you just consider it like a network of campuses, and today we're going to have our event at this campus, next week at this campus.
Yes, and I want to provide the students with information to show that the Southwest campus is having a event. Okay, what students will be able to attend, who was interested in going, who was interested in providing volunteer services, things like that. So I'm just trying to really make it a community within HCC.
That's great. Now, you've only been here a couple of months.
Yes.
How difficult has it been to do that so far? How easy?
Difficult-wise, it's not so difficult.
Because you have fun doing it.
Yes, me being a former student myself, I'm all for the students. I'm all about providing services. I'm all about providing information to the students. So I am just looking to basically be for the students.
Now, HCC has demographics that are a little bit different from, let's say, your typical four-year college in a small town, a little bit older population maybe, right? How do you appeal to those students who have maybe full-time jobs where they're coming here, or kids they deal with, a family, and they're coming here to take classes? You're trying to include them too in this whole community, right?
Well, when it comes to that, like I said, we mostly deal with international students.
Okay.
So
they're by themselves. They're single, right?
Some by themselves. Some of them might have their family with them. But as far as bringing them together with domestic students, I'm actually working on something to try to bring them together with an idea called Friends Without Borders.
And I like that. Friends Without Borders.
Yes, to bring international and domestic students together and just kind of build a relationship where they can learn about each other, learn different information, figure out what they like, what they don't like. And
maybe the friends can host dinners in their homes, that kind of thing, right?
Different things like that. So I'm just trying to basically bring them together.
That's great.
Yes.
And also for the local students who are from here, it gives them a chance to meet people from all over the world. If they can't travel there, they can meet someone from there and virtually get that
Yes, like I wanted to study abroad, but I wasn't able to. And me being able to meet international students, find out about different cultures, find out the different things that they like to do, then it's like I'm able to learn without actually having to travel.
Now, I love this idea of international karaoke because music is an international language.
Yes.
What other events do you have planned?
Well,
or things you want to do in the future, maybe you haven't figured it out exactly when yet.
One thing with Houston being the great city that it is. A lot of international students would like to learn more about the city. And with us being only minutes away from Discovery Green, I would definitely love to have
take a tour group out there.
Yes, definitely like to take a tour to the Discovery Green, let them see the different things that they have going on, let them take pictures, send home to family, and just kind of show their family that I'm actually enjoying myself far, far away from home.
And they have, Discovery Green always has art installations. They change it out all the time. It's different.
Yes.
And also Harmon Park, they have the Miller Outdoor Theater.
Yes.
All those wonderful performances that are free.
Yes.
I love the free part.
Yes.
Even the Houston Symphony's out there playing.
Yes.
So you get a world-class orchestra, it doesn't cost any money, and they get a taste of the culture from here.
Yes, and I mean, Houston being the 4th largest city, it's like,
so many resources for you, right?
so many resources. And the cost of living is not as bad as as other cities.
Right.
So it's kind of like
it's
a benefit.
It's an affordable city.
Yes, that's the benefit of the recruiting.
Yes, I was just going to ask you, how do you recruit students? What's your biggest plus, the benefit you tell students?
Houston does its recruiting on itself. Because
okay, Nelson, Houston is not a destination city, really. Okay,
well, it's
if you
not
want
a
to go on
destination
vacation,
city,
you don't want to
but
say
if
Houston.
If you're looking to study, where it's cost efficient, and you don't have to worry about breaking the bank, then Houston is one of the places that you would like to go.
It becomes very attractive.
Yes.
Okay, because it's affordable. Plus, HC has this wonderful program. If your English isn't great, you can still get in, and you simultaneously take English as a second language, right? You take these courses.
Yes.
And you still keep your visa status.
Yes. We provide ESL information. Even if a student doesn't know any English, they can test to figure out where they are, and if they are in a level 1, they will start there and then gradually move up throughout the ESL program. And then while they're doing that, they can continue to work on their degree plans.
If you were to, I know you work with international students,
yes.
but if you were trying to persuade people who live here about the value of coming to HCC, and like I think of my daughter, I'm trying to convince her to go to HCC for her first 2 years, or at least 1 year, and she's being pretty resistant, and says, I want that 4 year away from home college experience. What would you tell her?
Well, the information I would provide her is that you can take your basics at HCC. You can
all your core subjects that first year.
Yes, your first year, you can take your basics. You kind of get your feet wet to see the things you will be facing on a university or college campus.
What about class size, Nelson? It's small, right?
Very small.
Yeah.
The class size is very small, so it's more.
You get more tension?
Yes, it's more tension, but I mean, you can relate, or I guess you can say, you can have that connection
with that professor.
That you won't be able to have at an actual university because the class size is so major, it's so big. So you kind of want to have that personal connection with your professor just in case you didn't understand something and you have a question that you would like to ask. You would want to have that connection, that personal connection.
And most of the students you deal with, they come here for the full 2 years because they're international students, right?
Yes.
And what do they tell you their main reason for coming here? Is it the affordability factor?
Affordability as well as learning about our culture. Like I said, with it being Houston, it's...
And you're the ambassador for that. And let's see your T-shirt. Show us your T-shirt. It says, helping students makes us happy. And, and I think that's your motto too, right?
Definitely.
Nelson, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next, we'll meet a student from Kenya who overcame hardships from airport transport to housing in order to study here at HCC. Don't go away.
HCC. So many reasons, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
Hello, my name is James Mabel and I serve as Director of Career and Job Placement Services at Houston Community College. Career and Job Placement Services consist of 6 career centers located throughout the HCC system. We have a career center near you, and we provide services and resources that are geared to ensure students are successful pursuing their calling. We provide career development, meaning we assist students with resumes, provide mock interview assistance, and even career exploration, such as career assessments. We provide job placement services such as campus interviews, where companies come on campus and literally conduct real interviews where students could get hired. We also provide career fairs and co-op and internship assistance. To learn more about career and job placement services, please visit us online at hccs.edu/career planning.
Imagine arriving in a foreign country after traveling for 23 hours. Our next guest arrived in Houston from the other side of the world and then didn't know how to get from the airport into town and then had no clue really where to stay. But he was determined. Peter, say your last name, Okumu. Peter Okumu is from Nairobi, Kenya, and he's here at HCC studying nursing. Thank you so much for being a guest.
You're welcome.
So tell me, when you first came here, you arrived, your cell phone was cut off, you knew no one in Houston. What happened? You're at the airport.
Yeah, coming out of my flight, coming out of the airport, I had my phone switched off, so I had to look for a taxi. The taxi I can see, not on the phone. So the only taxi I could see is a guy with somebody came and asked me like, "Do you need a taxi?" Then I told him yes. So he told me like, where am I taking you? Then I gave him the paper of the hostel where I was going to. That was a hostel.
So you had reservations at a hostel near the HCC campus downtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
At Lovett Street, 541 Boulevard. So he brought me up to Lovett Street.
A $78 or $9 taxi ride.
$78.9.
There went your food money, there went your rent money,
So
right?
I had to pay him, and that is how I got to my destination.
That's a lot of money, even for someone who lives here and works full time. It's a lot.
Okay.
And then you went to this hostel and you discovered that it was really a temporary housing for about 2 weeks only, right? And you thought it was going to be a longer term.
Yeah, the idea was, actually I didn't book it for 14 weeks.
Okay.
I booked it for around 1 week, so that I would go for the orientation and look for a student we can
Be
team
roommates.
up to share a room with.
Okay.
Then apparently that did not work. I got a student, but this student, when we got a house, we were asked like, do you have a background check? How can we check your background? Then do you have a bank statement with the money proof that you can pay for this apartment? Then this bank statement has to be yours, not third party. So meaning if your fee is being paid if this money is being paid by your parent or by your sponsor, they don't want that. They want your bank statement. So it didn't work with Emmanuel, my the colleague that we were to team up with. So I had to go back to my hostel and extend my stay. Then on the 13th day, I was told, you know what? Tomorrow you have to come out. I asked them like, why? You have done 14 days.
That's the maximum.
Yes, maximum we can have here. So the policy is you come out, then you will come back after 60 days.
After 60 days,
Yes,
and you had to
after
find a
60
place
days,
to live.
you can come back. Again, you qualify now for
So Peter, what did you do?
15 days. Yeah, I had to leave.
So where did you stay after that?
Thank God, during this time I was in the hostel, I would move to one of the nearest churches to pray. Then I thought like, now that I have a challenge. But that day, for 2 days before church, I stayed out.
On the
Literally
streets?
out. Yes, I stayed out.
And oh my goodness, then you went to the church and prayed and asked for help. And did
Yes,
you meet
I just
somebody
went to
who...
pray now. The person who was sitting next to me was a lady from one of the northern countries in Kenya, in Africa. And I told her like, oh, she was from Sierra Leone. I remembered. So I told her what is happening then. She told me, oh, it's okay. I can talk to the reverend and tell her your situation then. Actually, after the service, she told the reverend. Then the reverend called me when we were having coffee in the back, on the backstage. Then the reverend made arrangement to take me to one of the temporary accommodations.
So God answered your prayer. So Peter, you have a lot of determination and a lot of courage to come to a foreign country to study, and you made it, you were determined to do it, and you came from a very hard background. Tell me, where does this drive come from?
I believe that all these things are happening for a purpose. Growing up as a young man in Kenya, I didn't know that at this point I'll be in the United States. I believe that there is a purpose why I am here in the United States.
And you are studying nursing here
Yeah,
at
I'm
HCC.
studying nursing here.
What do you want to do after you finish your nursing 2 years here?
Well, after finishing nursing, associate degree in
Associate,
nursing, I will do the bachelor's degree at University of Texas.
UT Health Science Center?
UT Health Science Centers, because there is this program that you finish the RN, then you proceed as a third year on the other side. So
You're sort of automatically in that program.
yeah,
That's
yes,
great.
yeah. So I would pursue that. Then after that, I would want to do my PhD.
Really?
I would want to
become
do and
PhD
become a nursing practitioner.
Nurse practitioner.
Yes,
Back in
because
Kenya?
Back in Kenya, I was a general practitioner. I was prescribing drugs. I was seeing patients.
Wow.
That I cannot do.
Because you had a
here.
degree in clinical medicine and community health in Kenya, right?
Yes, yes.
But you, of course, you can't do that here because you have to be. It's a different program, different licensing. So would you like to take this PhD, this nurse practitioner experience, and
sure,
go back
sure.
to Kenya and work there, or stay here and work, or you're not sure yet?
I want to say that I'm more focused on what I have at hand. Now, I'm a student.
Right.
Yes, I may work to achieve what I can achieve as a student at the moment.
What do you think about the classes here and the professors here at HCC?
HCC is a very friendly environment. I've interacted with my professors, and they're very friendly people.
They're responsive to you.
Yes, they are. They attend to each and every student according to your needs.
That's great.
Yes, so I think I've loved the classes, I can say so. Though having registered for the second summer is a lot of work,
Yeah.
but we are getting adequate support from our professors.
That's good.
Yes, yes.
That's very good. So what kind of advice would you give to other international students who come here?
It's not a walk in the park, especially if you are not from this
It's
place.
not a walk in the park.
Yes.
It's hard.
It may not be that easy.
Okay.
Yes, especially to adapt in America, because a lot is required. For you to settle in America, if you have no one
Right.
in Houston, you need to think more.
And
than-
Peter, even
Yes.
though you know the language is still difficult because your English is impeccable, but you still had a difficult time because you didn't know anyone here, right?
Yes.
Well, congratulations for making it so far, and good luck for the rest of your studies.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Coming up next, what one nonprofit is doing to make a difference in the fight against ovarian cancer. Stay with us.
HCC. So many locations. So little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a four-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a four-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a four-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
We have academic programs that help students get from high school into a university. And the data is very clear that students that take the path of a community college finish in far higher numbers than students that start straight into a university experience. Our students can achieve a baccalaureate degree in multiple fields from the universities in the area without ever leaving Houston Community College.
Ovarian cancer is the #1 deadliest gynecological cancers, and it has no reliable screening. 1 in 75 women would develop the disease, and worldwide, 249,000 women are diagnosed every year. There's one group that's working hard to wipe out those stats. Okumu is an advocacy group that supports research, educates, and cares for underserved women who have ovarian cancer. Here to tell us more is founder and president Runsi. Runsi, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about, what are the symptoms of ovarian cancer now?
So that's a great question to start the conversation. So as you said, ovarian cancer can have really vague and non-specific symptoms to the point where women tend to overlook the signs until it's diagnosed too late. So we came up with this with the symptom card, which talks about the 5 main symptoms of ovarian cancer. So it could be bloating, it could be early, feeling of fullness, some pain in your abdominal and the pelvic area. Then it could be some changes in your bladder and bowel habits, and also if you're feeling extremely tired and fatigued over time. So the thing to watch out for is, I mean, in itself, these conditions look like they happen to every woman, right? I mean, these are very non-specific symptoms. Right. However, if you are, the key to watch out for is persistence. So if you're experiencing one or all of these symptoms, for a period of time, which is over 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, then definitely we recommend that you check with your physician and just get it tested and make sure that it's not the...
Now, Runsi, can they catch it in the early stages?
So the thing is, there is, as you mentioned, there is no early screening or detection for ovarian cancer yet, which is, they're working very hard towards it, but when we go for our well-woman visits, you get tested for your mammogram. If you're over 40, then you get a pap smear, which is for cervical, but there is no standardized test for ovarian cancer. So that's why we say that in the absence of a test, awareness is our best bet. So, I mean, I think, at this point in time, we have to watch out for the symptoms, like I mentioned here.
So if a woman has these symptoms, bloating, early satiety, meaning you feel
early feeling
really
of fullness,
full
yes.
very quickly, abdominal pain and changes in bowel and bladder habits, and then heightened fatigue. If you're feeling any of these over 2 to 3, 4 weeks, you tell your doctor.
Definitely
can they do a
check
test to
with
say,
your doctor.
oh, you have it, or do they have to wait until it's manifest even more? You know what I'm saying?
No, at that point, if the doctor thinks that test, they can do a CT scan, they could do an ultrasound and do some further investigation to find out what's going on.
Because if it's caught early, there's treatment available, correct?
Yes, and the statistics are just mind-blowing in the sense that if you get tested early in stage 1, detected early in stage 1, then your 5-year survival rate is more than 95%.
Oh, that's
and
good.
that is significant. But unfortunately, because of the vague symptoms and also the fact that there is no screening, almost more than 70 to 75% of women get diagnosed at advanced stages where, it's beyond stage 2 and in stage 3 and stage 4, it gets even more difficult to treat the disease. So that's why I think it's very important for people to understand that, particularly in terms of ovarian cancer, awareness is so important because you get detected early, then your treatment starts early, and then your chances of survival is so much more.
Every woman needs to know BEACH.
And every woman is at
B-E-A-C-H.
risk for ovarian cancer. We sometimes often think that, these are genetic factors that play into these kinds of diseases. It is true, but however, it is also important to know that only 15 to 20% of ovarian cancer is actually genetic. So which means that majority of women that get diagnosed do not carry a mutation. So it can happen to any woman.
Okay. Tell me about a woman named Atashi.
So that's a very favorite name of mine because that's my mom, and she passed from ovarian cancer. This is actually her 10th year of passing. And so when she got diagnosed, again, this is a very ordinary story of an ordinary family where she got diagnosed and I didn't know anything about ovarian cancer at that point, and we didn't understand the signs and symptoms, although she complained about these specific symptoms for quite a while. But we kept going to the doctor, and it was not diagnosed until she was in stage 4. And so she had very little time, and she fought fiercely, but she passed within 11 months of her diagnosis. And so in her memory and with her inspiration, I created Overcome.
That was the drive for you.
That was the drive.
To become the expert on ovarian cancer and to help others with that.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the care packages you have now for underserved women locally.
So our Overcare Patient Assistance Program, that is a package that we offer to underserved ovarian cancer patients, and it has a $100 gas card, it has a $100 grocery card, it has a $200 cash grant, and it also has 3 counseling sessions from a licensed clinical social worker. And so when we started this program back in 2014,
I mean, you take care of body, food.
It's a holistic package that we offer,
it's very
and when
nice.
we started in 2014, we started with only one hospital, you know, MD Anderson as our primary partner, but now in the course of 4.5, 5 years, it has now expanded to more than 100 hospitals nationwide. So we are now serving nationwide with this program to more than 100 hospitals.
And even if you have health insurance, this is still important to have a package like this, right?
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely, because you know the health insurance takes care of your treatment, right? But these are lifestyle this is a lifestyle package that helps with little things as you go along, and sometimes, you know, the whole process of diagnosis and treatment, it depletes you of many resources, not just financial, but as you said, it's emotional, it's spiritual. So a package like this, you know, our survivors will always tell us that it just helps them uplift their mood and their experience.
Especially if they're alone, if they're, let's say, a single mom or by themselves.
Exactly, and there are many of them that are actually, you know, on this journey by themselves. They're trying to work or manage a family, or, you know, are single parents, so it just goes a long way.
That's wonderful. And tell me about the research you do too. I mean, you fund research with significant grants. Can you talk about that?
Yes, so the research grants, we are big believers in early detection, right? Because we want to be able to find a cure finally, and also to have some early detection mechanism in place. So we fund research for young investigators that are doing some phenomenal work in this field, and we typically spread out our research grants to 2 to 3 investigators over a course of a year, and our research grants are anywhere between $40,000 to $50,000 that we offer to these researchers.
To each researcher?
No,
or total.
Total at this point.
That's
But we
still
would want to make it
significant.
more,
Yeah.
and that all depends on funding. But at this point, since we have other programs in place, we typically have that amount allocated for our research.
How close are we, Runsi, to having a screening test for something like this?
So from my advocacy roles that I do, it seems like there's a lot of work ongoing, and we are closer than we think. However, there is nothing in immediate horizon. So, but that's not to say that in the next 5 years we will not come up with a detection mechanism. But I would strongly still urge everyone to know the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer, because at this point in time, we still do not have a test, and for that we need to know these symptoms, and we need to talk to people that
And the
we
good
care
news
about.
is 95% of cases are cured
if
if
detected
they
early.
find the cancer early. in
Exactly.
stage 1.
The
That's
early
great news,
detection is key for ovarian
Now you're doing
cancer.
things internationally too with your program. Tell me about that.
Yes, so we have some certain programs in Africa and parts of Africa and in India. What we do is we have local volunteers there that do some grassroots campaigns to raise awareness on ovarian cancer. And also in partnership with 2 or 3 hospitals in India, what we do is we sponsor chemotherapy for patients over there, because you know, these hospitals are already subsidized and the currency exchange goes a long way. And so we are actually able to support chemotherapy treatment for those patients.
So the women can get free treatment then? if
Exactly.
they qualify
Well,
for the
I mean,
program.
the surgery they still have to do,
Right.
but the chemotherapy
chemo's
part we can take care of.
And when you do these educational seminars abroad, are the people really receptive to learning about these things?
Absolutely. So our conferences are growing in size every year, and this year we are hosting our annual conference. It's called Overcoming Cancer. It's on September 27th, and we have a great panel of speakers. I mean, we have invited speakers from Dana-Farber, Harvard Medical School, and you know
Top
other
researchers.
top research institutions who are going to come and share their knowledge.
And Runsi, the viewers who want to help, just go on your website and find out
Absolutely.
how to help.
Go to
right?
our website, and we are very strong on our social media as well. So Facebook,
overcome.org.
Twitter, Instagram. Yes.
OVAR.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Runsi.
Thank you for having me.
That's all for this edition of Global Outlook. I'll see you again every Friday and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m., plus Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for joining us.